Keisha Lance Bottoms, and I don't want to put her at the bottom, but Keisha Lance Bottoms will be a VP. And when I say VP, I don't mean vice president. When I say VP, I mean a vaccine pusher. Dr. Fauci's already come out and said that they are going to need influential people to persuade the public to get the vaccine. Because he said that 27% of the population, the American population, is against taking the vaccine. And Bill and Melinda have already said that the priority for the vaccine is healthcare workers and black people and Native Americans.
Keisha Lance Bottoms. Mayor Bottoms, thanks so much for joining us this morning. It's good to see you. You announced a couple of days ago that you have tested positive for coronavirus. You look well. How are you feeling?
I feel okay, and thank you for having me. I feel like I have seasonal allergies and scratchy throat, headache, all of the things that come with allergies. But I can tell you I'm so frustrated. We tested 8 days previously, didn't get our results back. One person in my house was positive then. So for 8 days, we are operating in our household as if everything is normal. We then retested, and then by the time we retested, 3 of us had tested positive.
Well, that's instructive to a lot of people about how difficult testing still is in this country. If the mayor of Atlanta has to wait 8 days to get a test back, what does that mean for the rest of us?
They've also said that it will be very difficult to create an effective vaccine if black people don't participate in the clinical trials. As you see, they've already started testing the vaccine or the clinical trial version of the vaccine in Africa. But Keisha Lance Bottoms, I don't want to put her at the bottom, but Keisha Lance Bottoms will be a vaccine pusher. She tested positive for COVID-19. So now she has a narrative and a story to go along with why she is urging black people to get the vaccine. This is all entertainment, and this is how it works. They will use the black who's who to get us to take the vaccine. That is the black athletes, the black entertainers, the black actors and actresses, the black politicians, the black leadership. They will use black people to ensure that black people get vaccinated.
The city of Atlanta has had to operate in a very different lane than the state of Georgia, because the state of Georgia has been very irresponsible in the way that it has opened back up for business as if everything is normal. So we convened an advisory council, and there were representatives from small businesses, from universities, from big businesses. So we are still in phase 2 of our reopening, which is helpful because many of our large job centers with our Fortune 500 companies have not reopened. But what I would like to see from our state is some consistency. I specifically asked our governor about allowing Atlanta to go forward with mandating masks in our city. He refused. Other cities have taken the approach that they are going to defy the governor's executive order. And Savannah has done it. Some other cities have done it. And Atlanta is going to do it today. Because the fact of the matter is that COVID-19 is wreaking havoc on our city, specifically black and brown communities with the higher death rates. And we will never be able to reopen our schools and our economy if we don't take some responsibility for what we can do as leaders.
She tested positive. Her husband tested positive. I think 2 of her kids tested positive and 1 tested negative. And I think 2 more have to get tested. But she is making herself a victim of COVID-19 so that when she asks you all to take the vaccine, you all will say, yes, Keisha, we will take it. And now Keisha Lance Bottoms is mandating masks in Atlanta. You see, Keisha Lance Bottoms, I don't want to put her at the bottoms, but Keisha Lance Bottoms will be a vaccine pusher. She will want black people to get vaccinated. And I want you all to be aware of this. Bill Gates is controlling this whole thing. So essentially, everybody is working for Bill Gates. Everybody is essentially working for Bill Gates because he wants to push the vaccine, and all of these people are going to push the vaccine for him. Keisha Lance Bottoms, I don't want to put her at the bottom, but she's a vaccine pusher. This is what she's going to do.
Two characteristics of a vaccine. One is whether it protects you individually from getting sick. The other is whether it stops you from being a transmitter of the disease. And it's possible the vaccine will be better at protecting you individually and not stop you from transmitting. We're trying to look at the various vaccines and see how they measure up on those two dimensions. But it's not guaranteed that the vaccine will be a perfect transmission blocker.
We still don't know whether someone who's had the disease and recovered enjoys immunity from it. Going forward, I know William Hasseltine, former Harvard Medical School professor, told CNN this week, I call this virus the get it and then your body forgets it. This is not a standard virus, he said, that you're going to get herd immunity. There is no evidence of herd immunity.
Keisha Lance Bottoms, along with the rest of the black leadership, will be the ones trying to push this vaccine on black people. Mark my words. All of these people that you love and trust, all these celebrities, these entertainers, these politicians, these athletes, these actors, these actresses, all these people, the who's who in black society, will be the main ones pushing this vaccine. Yes, all of them are going to sell out their people. Every last one of them. And I keep telling you all, you can't trust these celebrities. These celebrities don't care about you or I. These celebrities care about their careers. They care about the fame. They care about the money. They will sell us out in a minute.
Every year, the same 4 coronaviruses come back to give us colds. If you have one of those coronaviruses, it can cause the exact same disease a year later. Do you think he's right?
The immune response to coronavirus is much greater than to the other related things that cause those common colds. And so when we look at these antibody levels, in over 80% of the patients, they are very strong. And so we don't think you get immediately reinfected. How long the protection is it a year, 2 years? And are there some people, particularly the asymptomatics, who it's very short for? That's still pretty unsure.
It still seems to be rare that an asymptomatic person actually transmits onward to a secondary individual.
I didn't quite get that. Can I hear that one more time? I'm serious. I could not tell what you just said.
From the data we have, it still seems to be rare that an asymptomatic person actually transmits onward to a secondary individual.
Still didn't quite get that, but Dr. Samadi went to medical school. He's been listening to doctors all of his life. Doctor, I believe the headline from the World Health Organization is asymptomatic people are not infectious. They're not going to spread the disease. Is that what the WHO is saying?
Yes, that's correct, Greg.
There is no such thing as black leadership. Black leadership is an extension of white oppression because black leadership has to be endorsed by systemic and systematic racism. If you are a real threat to the system, they will kill you. They will want your life and your legacy. But Keisha Lance Bottoms is going to be a VP. Now, Keisha wasn't wearing a mask. Now she wants to mandate everybody to wear a mask. And you all still don't think it's a game. You all still don't think it's a game. If they can get you to wear a mask, they can get you to take a vaccine. If they can get you to take a vaccine, they can get you to get a chip. And if they can get you to get a chip, well, at that point, it's over.
19 vaccine trials here at the Jacksonville Center for Clinical Research. Specifically, recruiters here tell me they need more people of color. They say the black community has been disproportionately affected by COVID-19, and in order to have a very accurate vaccine trial, they need a diverse population. So they're asking black people to please sign up and take part in this trial. Now, there are several benefits to being part of a trial, including getting paid, as well as free medical care, and the signups are still going on. We'll include that link at firstcoastnews.com if you're interested.
Keisha Lance Bottoms, I don't want to put her at the bottom, but the bottom is where she may have to stay. Wait for Free Blanche. Get money. Go.